Hello. Is there anybody out there? Hello. 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 I'm back. S.STREET Media Radio, Black Raspberry Radio, live365.com. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I'm going to say it one more time. This is S.STREET Media Radio, live365.com, Black Raspberry Radio. How y'all doing, people? How y'all doing today, man? Brother Supreme Mathematics told me that one of the other people on his show said that me personally, a stream of consciousness. He gave a critique or criticism or a saying or an opinion, a stream of consciousness, and it's like I got a stream of consciousness that's brewing right here like a pot of beef stew. You got your beef, you got your potatoes, you got your onions, you got your carrots, you got your celery, you got your gravy. And what I've written down today, I'm going to talk about me writing my friend's obituary, the HIV viruses in general, period. Deep cover 187 and my playlist today. First of all, I want to start off, I've always been a West Coast kind of guy growing up, and I have said this many times on this podcast. For some reason, it's just that the West Coast it just snatched me with their music. Maybe they didn't rhyme. I guess the rhyme cat, hat, bat, fat. Maybe it didn't rhyme, but their stories, it just pulled me in there. So today's playlist that's going to be played is NWA's Niggas for Life, Ice Cube's America's Most Wanted, Ice Cube's Death Certificate, which I am so mad I do not have No Vaseline, which was the greatest diss track of all times. All times. Followed by Hit 'Em Up. I'm not going to lie, but Ice Cube said Tupac didn't do that by himself. So you can't really include that. But I got a story about Hit 'Em Up when I was living in Harlem, but I'm going to get back to that. And the last song that should be played is Snoop Doggy Dogg's Murder Was the Case, produced by Dr. Dre. And what was so crazy when Brother Math had, when he was queuing up Murder Was the Case, I spit the Biggie Smalls rhyme because Biggie Smalls did the Road to the Riches on that beat. Biggie Smalls did Road to the Riches to a lot of the West Coast beats, because I think at that time when Ready to Die came out and Puff Daddy released Juicy, Biggie wasn't feeling it. But thank God Puff Daddy did put out Juicy, because Big, wherever your spirit is at, brother, whether you in the heavens or whether you in the hells, your ass would have been a Cool G rap rapper if Machine Gun Funk was released first. Because they said that Biggie Smalls wanted Machine Gun Funk to be released first. But thank God Juicy came out. What was the B-side? Unbelievable was the B-side. Then he came out, I Love It When You Call Me Big Papa. And on the B-side was Warning. So Puff Daddy kind of mixed up that flavor. The Flavor in Your Ear, and then that Flavor in Your Ear remix came out. That shit was crazy. Right quick, I'm gonna talk about the time when I heard Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. I got into a problem in Brownsville. My mom's kicked me out, and I'm living on 129th between 5th and Lenox. And we're still kind of at the height of the crack cocaine epidemic, and no motherfuckers uptown in Harlem. I'm gonna tell you, I love you, Brooklyn. I love you, Brownsville, but them motherfuckers in Harlem had a flow that just was religious. That's why I can see why Dame Dash is so kind of arrogant with his shit, how the way he is, and them Harlem niggas, they kind of arrogant with it because they get money. I can't lie. But this one guy was like, yo, you from Brooklyn. Yo, Brooklyn, come here. Come here, homeboy. I want you to hear this right here. And he put on Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. And as the song going on, people is walking down the street, but people are stopping. When Tupac is kicking that first verse, people are stopping and just stood there and they listening to it. It is just so crazy, and I know I said this before, mad people that I have looked on the internet, and they talk about that time when they heard that hit them up. Rather, it was the Goody Mob, because the Goody Mob said they was right there in the studio, and Tupac asked them like, yo, I need y'all to hear this. Rather, Stevie J said that when they heard it at Bad Boy at Daddy's house, the studio, or it was up at Bad Boy Records that was over there on 19th Street and Broadway. 19th and 5th Avenue, I think it was. Yeah, 19th and 5th Avenue. And he said, you felt the evilness. You just felt something was going to happen. And sure enough, it did happen. But I just think that Big, no disrespect to you, bro, I think that you should have came at Tupac when he was more or less alive. You threw a lot of cheap shots at that man when he was dead. I love both of y'all, but it just would have been better if he was alive and y'all could have been going on the back and forth. And I just wish that nobody didn't die. That part. Which leads me down to this new rap beef with, I think, you had J. Cole going at Kendrick Lamar, Rick Ross against Drake, Quavo against somebody else, and Metro Boomin. Like, it's like, listen, I don't have really a comment on any of them because I don't listen to them. And I'm not disrespecting their music. I just don't listen to it. That's like me telling my mother, yo, Mom, I think that you really need to listen to this Cool G rap right here. Oh, no, Ma, I think you really need to listen to this Niggas for Life album. Knowing that my mom's just coming off the Temptations. My mom's just coming off Barry White and Teddy Pendergrass. But the thing is, the only reason why my moms did listen to that music because of the hip-hop sample. But to the beef, to the rap beef, please, let's not have nobody get hurt. Which I heard that Rick Ross, not that I heard, I was on the internet this morning on YouTube, and they said that Rick Ross disrespected Birdman's mother, and Birdman's mother is dead. It's like, yo, come on, y'all. Let's not take it too far. It's not worth that. It's not worth a loss of life. It's just music. Like, cut the nonsense out. You need your ass beat by your mother. Right quick, I'm going back to college. I'm just going to take a class for the right now. I'm a political science major. Got about, I think, 28 credits, or I think it was 32 credits left. And I'm going to get my college degree. And I just want it. Maybe I want the degree because, you know, I'm going to need something to pick the trash up with. It's really not that much of importance to me. Maybe if I want to get start my own community-based organization, because they kind of like to see people with degrees running shit, I guess, you know. But I'm definitely going to go back, and I want to set a better example for my kids, which I hope my kids follow, because I think, truthfully, and I know I said this before, they are dumbing down our children. I don't know what they do in other schools with other races of people, but I just noticed with the Negroes, and I can't even, I just noticed with us, they dumbing things down. And you know what the dumbing down, like I said, comes into? You need to write. Pick up your ink pen and write instead of always typing. You need to write some of the time. Excuse me. Also, I want to send a shout out, and I think I said this also last week. O.J. Simpson, he rest in peace again. And I give props to the Kardashians' father. He was the one that put in play and helped put in play to get that dream team of lawyers to represent O.J. Simpson. F. Lee Bailey, you had Robert Shapiro, you had Johnny Cochran, may he rest in peace. It's just that you gotta be a good, you gotta have good defense, but you gotta be a good constitutional lawyer. You know, whatever what the framers wrote, as they say, you gotta go according to what's written, but you gotta add your own stuff when you getting represented. And this case in point, I want to get off this right quick. You should be judged by a jury of your own peers. What did Johnny Cochran do? He moved that damn case down from, what was that, Glenwood Brentwood, Glenwood, one of them woods, and got that case moved down to LA County, which it was 24 jurors. I think 12 jurors, 12 alternatives, but 15 of those jurors were black. So they knew what, you know, all praises due to my man Johnny Cochran. Again, this is a stream of consciousness, just jumping around. Not so much jumping around, but jumping around. You know, me and Brother Math, we was talking about viruses. Viruses has been on this planet at least 350, maybe to 450 million years before Homo sapien, if that's the term that you want to use. Before man became erect. I got my own beliefs about man, because I think that man actually, just is just my opinion, me with my own theory, many different things that I read, man came from out of that water. I think man came from out of that water until that first being was able to catch that first breath. To catch that first breath out of that water. How do you say so? Isn't when a child in his mother's womb, the child is in water, right? I mean, which it does get all its nutrients and stuff like that from the umbilical cord, but I believe that man came up from out of the ocean. But those damn viruses, there's no cure for a virus. All the time when you do get vaccinated, those vaccines is to keep that virus dormant. I just don't know what it is. I need to do some more research, because you cannot have a virus and thinking that you're going to cure that shit with penicillin, amoxicillin, or any of those other cylinders that they have. That's bacteria. You are not going to cure a virus. They actually pump a strain of the virus so your body can get an identity to fight off the virus. We were talking about herpes. You know, sometimes you may smoke a blunt. Maybe you might be smoking some crystal meth, or you may be smoking some crack. And you smoke behind the wrong person. And next thing you know, you got a big ass blister on your lip. And there's really nothing that you can do about it. Also, herpes just don't also come from, I guess, someone's saliva, somebody else's bodily fluid. It's dormant in your body. They say that herpes actually lives or stays dormant in your spine. And sometimes when you get stressed out about certain things, the herpes virus come out on your face. I know it sounds kind of ill, but this is a stream of consciousness. Today's show is a stream of consciousness. We're not just going to talk about your usual stuff like, all right, Donald Trump. Only thing Donald Trump need right now in that lawsuit thing, hush money, whoop, 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 is he need to get one juror to say not guilty. That's all he need when it comes to a civil suit. So it's not like he's up for a murder. He's up for a murder. But the one thing that I can say, no president should be above the law. And that's the problem. You cannot be above the law. You cannot be above the law because you are a sitting president. And Donald Trump said that you can't bring a president. You can't be bringing the president to the court, all the things that we do. What he wanted to say, all the murders that we do, all the bombings that we do, because next thing you know, if Donald Trump launches an air attack on another country and a bunch of people die, do you bring Donald Trump on charges? Or I guess if he's doing some foul shit domestically, oh yes, that we can. Or is it because he's rich? But I think that Mr. Trump, he's going to win this election. Right quick, I wanted to jump on last week before I ended the show. I was talking about Fendi. You know, I don't want to again. This ain't about no clout chasing. because I have really seen him in years, off and on. We talk on the phone and things of that nature. Fendi is the one that put out Gravy, Nicki Minaj. Just in my opinion, I don't know what business relation that y'all have, but I think that you could have hit the homeboy off with a lot of money. But Fendi, I think now, I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to him in like 2 or 3 months. Coming out with a book. And he had asked me, to say a couple of things. He said, if it was anybody that I care about saying anything about me, he said, I would want you to say it, whether it's good or bad. I'm like, wow, thank you, brother. He actually called me and said this shit. All right, so I'm gonna run down my Fendi relationship, because at one point in time, I'm not saying, I don't think no borough has a flow, truthfully. This is just my opinion. Nobody has a flow like a Harlem flow or Brooklyn, or a Harlem flow and a Bronx flow. I mean, everybody got their flows, but that Harlem shit is just a different flow. But he had a flow. He had a flow from a Brownsville perspective flow. If you're making like $15,000 around the clock, 24 hours around the clock every day for 3 years, do the math. Because the math was mathing. Just do the math. $15,000 and you're selling crack all the way around the clock and you got workers. It's just that some of the things that he was doing to the workers, it was horrible. But I say you don't be fucking up nobody else's money. Y'all know the rules of the game. You know what you getting into. But my relationship with him was, we just would be sitting in his car listening to music. The one thing that I can say I know for a fact that what we didn't listen to in them years of 1990, 1991, 1992, shit started getting shady around that 92 going into the 93 thing, because the Muslims came on the block and shut that flow down. I'm talking about those Sunni Muslims. It wasn't even Nation of Islam Muslims. It was Sunni Muslims that came and shut his flow down. NWA in the West Coast, he's like, I don't want to hear that. But Brand Nubians, All for One, Redman, Mecca and the Soul Brother, Leaders of the New School, all of that right there, that's what we was listening to all day, every day. What I wanted to say, yes, he was selling crack cocaine at an extremely high volume from a Brownsville standard. And I had said something on Facebook that I live on S.STREET, and let's just say out of 120 houses in 2 blocks, because each block got 15, maybe 20 houses on each side of the block. 20, that's 40, that's 80, that's 80, that's 80. So we're around between 120 to 160. It's only 7 of us left. And I'm not going to say all, but a lot of those people lost their houses because their kids was buying his crack, not going to pay the property tax, the water bill, and blue. And it's not his fault. They chose to do that because you was really weak and not handling business. Not handling your business. Let me jump. I'm jumping because we in the stream of consciousness. Yesterday, I'm gonna send a shout out to my sister. It's her birthday. I have a tough sister. She's tough to this day. Hard-working sister. She's a manager over there at the VA hospital right now. My sister still got her gold teeth in her mouth. About 5 permanent gold teeth. Talking about before Lil Wayne, before any of your rappers. My sister got 5 permanents in her mouth. My sister got those gold teeth in her mouth in 1984. The 1984 dollar, them shits was like almost what, $400, $500, $600 a piece. That's you. How many karat gold? You have 24 karat gold. I think those teeth is between maybe 19 to 22. You just need a little bit. It's like you putting a little bit of baking soda on that cocaine for it to hold. Those gold teeth are still in her mouth. They still shine. No rash. No nothing. But in any case, there's a story that I shared on Facebook today when I posted my sister's picture, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my sister because my sister, she had some tough ass boyfriends, and it wasn't like she was some hoe bitch because there ain't nobody run through my sister. But mostly all the boyfriends that she did have, they were enforcers, not more or less the money getter. They were the enforcers of the crew. So one day I'm out there, you know, like I had told Matt, I said, what made me want to sell crack was Ice Cube's Summer Vacation. Ice Cube's Summer Vacation. And I'm like, I'm going to sell me some crack, which I don't know why I did that shit to this day. I'm sorry, Mom. Because the house got shot in with my bullshit. Grandmother almost got killed. But before my grandmother got shot, I don't mean to laugh at that. Before my grandmother got shot, it was this dude out there with the Mac 10, Mac 11. The shit that looks like the UWAP. And he was out there robbing the town. Robbing. I remember standing on that porch and he was looking on that porch from the corner. No, he had two friends of mine that I went to public school with. And he, you know how you always got that? You got that 5%er that always got them underlings with him. Rather they holding a gun, or rather he points and the motherfucker starts shooting. It was two motherfuckers who was in the second grade with me with him. And I'm looking at them and they just shook their head. My sister said, why you look so scared? I said, I think that guy across the street is going to rob me. She said, oh, who, him? I was in a 4th, 5th, 6th. She said, you don't remember him, motherfucker? I'm like, no, I was a little kid. I mean, you got me by 5, 6 years. How I'm supposed to remember him? She said, I know him. Went across that street. Only thing I know, she turns around and points to him and like, yo, that's my brother. That's when I seen her mouth move. That's my brother. He kissed, hugged my sister, and kept it moving because my sister said she used to beat him up in public school. She walks back across that street and say, "Your punk ass, go take out the fucking garbage, nigga." Like, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. My big sister all the way to this very day. My job. I had to go in at my job today at child support. And I'm just gonna let y'all know, if y'all got these child support orders, and you know, if y'all got these child support orders, y'all need to take care of these child support orders and don't brush these orders away, because you don't want to mess up and get put in debt. It's like you got a credit card and you charged up your credit card and your credit card is not, you're not paying off your credit card and the interest rate keeps charging. That's how it is with child support. All right, let's just say that you don't got no money right now to pay your child support. You are supposed to go back to that court to go get you a downward modification. Your Honor, I am not working right now. Instead of you getting that thing charged at $200 a week, because they'll do it like that, charge you $200 a week. Your Honor, I don't have a job. The judge will put that order to $25 per month, y'all. Do not get put in debt with that child support, please, because you know what the crazy part is? They could put a judgment on you, and judgments have interest. There was a case that I ran across where this dude didn't pay his child support all the way back from 1994. Do you know what the interest is for not paying child support from 1994? And that thing is continuously hitting and hitting and hitting. This man is not going to be able to pay off his child support that right now he's getting Social Security, and they're clipping him for his Social Security check. So, you know, I had to bring that up to the commissioners up at HRA, and I'm so proud that I did, because I am the voice of the people. I really am. And I also help those women. This is another thing I want to say about child support. When a woman goes down and fill out for public assistance, the time that you do not get public assistance, that money is owed to you. The money is owed to you, and there's millions of dollars, y'all, I'm telling you, call 888-208-4485 just to see if you may have some money, because during a period of time, you know, when you have to recertify again, you got to go for recertification, and you're like, damn, they cut me off my child support, not my child support, they stopped my public assistance, my cash assistance, not your food stamps, not your Medicaid, my cash assistance. When they stop that, and that man is over there still paying, and he arguing with you, I'm paying my child support, I'm paying my child support. Listen, 888-208-4485 and ask, do I have any money on the system that's belonging to me? Oh, one more thing, another thing. I took my son to Kingsborough Community College. You know, he got a look, because last week I shot the show Monday, but he went to the tryouts that Wednesday, and my son, he did very well. He did very good, but it's also, baby, you also got to be academically good too. Can't just be putting the fucking ball in a hoop. You can't do that. You got to be able to be sharp in this world, know the planet. Try to be, what they say, my mother would say, you are the jack of all trades and the master of none. Shit, I'd rather be a jack of all trades. At least I have an ideal on what's going on in the planet, and that's what I try to put to my kids. Yo, try to know everything. Knowing the ledge. Like I will always ask. I asked my son the other day, I said, what 2 words is in knowledge? He's like, Dad, I don't know. I said, know the ledge. Rakim, sip the juice. I got enough to go around, and the thought takes place uptown off the Juice soundtrack. That was another good soundtrack. You know what, right quick, I want to say this, and I'm going to talk about this next week. Soundtracks. What soundtracks do I think was the best movie soundtracks? I say the first one is New Jack City. New Jack City soundtrack to me is the best soundtrack, and everybody else tried to follow up behind the New Jack City soundtrack, because the biggest single off the New Jack City soundtrack is Girl, I Want to Sex You Up. That was the biggest one, and Christopher Williams' Dreamin'. And they had a load of other songs. Ice-T's Hustler. It was a lot of good songs. On Queen Latifah, Living for the City with Troop and Levert. I listen to that shit like every other morning before I go to work. What else I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about 187. I had mentioned to Math, I said, he had mentioned 187. I'm like, yo, when Snoop Doggy Dogg came out with that song, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, that song hit in New York City harder than it hit it and on the West Coast, maybe because the lyrical content. Shout outs to the DOC. They said that there's a documentary that I need to see. I need to see this documentary on the DOC because I've always followed the DOC. Shout outs to the DOC for writing straight out of Compton, 100 Miles and Running, The Formula, his album, and the Niggas for Life album. Did he get paid for that? That's a whole nother story, because at that time when that Niggas for Life album is there, that's when Suge Knight was his bodyguard, then became his manager, then became his partner, and then Suge Knight ended up kicking the DOC off of death row. Like, come on, Suge. You fucked up a lot. And, you know, I be listening to his podcast. It sounds like Suge Knight is at peace with himself, but Suge, you messed it up, brother. You messed it up. You messed it up bad. Puff, you want to spend a lot of money because they're not going to have ran up in your house the way that they did and not charge you with anything, because that would have been a waste of taxpayers' money. So they're going to charge you with something. They're going to find something, because, you know, the federal government, you know, people really don't beat those charges. Not unless you start ratting out and signing proffers. I mean, I don't know. I'm not into that lifestyle or whatever, but anybody can get on some gangster shit when it's needed to get on some gangster shit. But at your volume, sex trafficking, drugs, guns. It's like, this man is $900 million deep, but it's just crazy when he start going at that liquor company, all this shit started coming up, yo. Like, they always got their initiative to things to bring your ass down. And it's crazy because, you know, somebody said, I think Suge Knight said on his podcast, he said, it's funny how Puff went down, but now Jimmy Iovine and Snoop Doggy Dogg got gin and juice. And it's from the same person that Puff Daddy was doing business with. So Puff, be ready to spend be ready to spend that money. Be ready to spend that money to have those lawyers to defend you, sir. For real. What else I want to cover? Shout out to my mother. Shout out to my mother. My mother, I hope that you listen to, because my mother, she really listens to my my show. And my mom went and bought that house in Brownsville with her illicit gains, as they say, for $500. So I don't want to hear nobody talk about, you know, well, us black folks, we didn't have ample opportunity to buy up property. It's a lie. And I'm even mad at myself because the little bit of crack that I was selling, I should have bought the lots. I should have went and bought me a lot and cleaned the lot, paid the taxes on the lot, and maybe I'd have had me some goddamn money. I would have had me some generational wealth. If it was any time for black America to have bought and purchased the hood, it would have been during the crack epidemic, the cocaine epidemic, also the heroin epidemic. Motherfuckers had money, but motherfuckers wasted that money. You could have been buying up these houses, buying up these properties, putting in other people's names just like the mob do, because I'm pretty sure the mob, when the feds ran down on them Italians, the mob mafioso people put that shit in other people's names so it didn't get snatched up. But us Negroes, we didn't do that. So we did have a chance, we did have a shot to buy up the neighborhood, because I'm telling you right now, everywhere right now is really, really, really crazy. There are buildings everywhere. Oh, wait a minute, let me jump. This is a stream of consciousness. G-Dep, I just seen something. G-Dep, he just got out of jail. And that's good, because G-Dep's consciousness got to him. His consciousness had got to him with that murder of, you know, what happened with that murder that he did, and turned himself in, and the governor let him out. The governor had let him out early, so that's good for him. We good? We good, brother? Yo, this has been S.STREET Media Radio. Let me get this right, man. S.STREET Media Radio. Black Raspberry Radio on live365.com. Yo, tune in next week, man, and click that goddamn in that search engine and go your asses on there to that station and listen to all the S.STREET Media damn shows. But my show is on at 1 p.m., y'all. Yo, peace out.